Sprint qualifying for the 2025 Chinese Grand Prix threw up more than a few surprises, with the order up and down the grid shaken up for tomorrow morning's sprint race. So guys, as always here on the F1Chronicle.com, let's have a look at the 5 things that we learned from sprint qualifying around the Shanghai International Circuit. So the first thing that we learned is that Liam Lawson is still struggling in that Red Bull. In his own words, he couldn't get the car to turn in the way that he wanted. He couldn't get it to perform at all, and that was reflected in his performance in SQ1, where he qualified dead last. P20, 20th place, back of the grid. Yeah, really bad qualifying for Lawson. That car right now is just not suiting him. He had a poor performance in qualifying in Australia last week, and it's been another poor performance in qualifying this time. Hopefully he'll get his act together for the actual Grand Prix race, but to get up into the top 8, even in a car as fast as the Red Bull from that starting position, will be extremely tough tomorrow morning. But yeah, unfortunately, I do fear for Lawson. It is very early days in his Red Bull career, but this is not a organization that supports its drivers when they are struggling, nor is it one that waits around when it comes to making changes. Do not rule out a mid-season change. Shout out to our Twitter admin as well. Did absolutely incredible reply on there to the official F1 account when it was announcing who was out in SQ1. Liam Lawson, of course, being one of those, like I just mentioned. And yeah, oh dear Lawson, it looks as though those B-grade drivers such as Bortoleto qualify him again. Are you watching Helmut Marko? Not what the doctor ordered very much with that one, but yeah, like I said, I do really feel for Lawson. I think he's going to be under some massive pressure already, and yeah, it's not looking too great. But I really feel bad for Lawson, to be honest. Awful day for him. It was a good day for Behrman, though. I mean, Haas had a much better day than they did in Australia for the qualifying there. They qualified on the back row in Australia, and while Ocon was out in SQ1, Ollie Behrman looked quite good. He almost made it into SQ3, into the top 10 for the sprint race starting position. He ended up in P12. He was only just behind a few of the cars just ahead of him in terms of the pace. It was pretty tight as usual, as you'd expect in qualifying in Formula 1 these days. But yeah, a better day for Haas, or at least a better day for Ollie Behrman. No crashes to report. All is well with the world. The third thing, surprisingly, Lance Stroll beat Alonso. Now, Alonso, of course, spun out in the Australian Grand Prix race last weekend. All got a solid points finish, and Stroll made it into SQ3. You know, he's doing a decent job so far this season. You know, criticize him all you want, and don't worry, I have. But, you know, so far this season, he's doing all right. He's doing all right. He out-qualified Alonso fair and square on pace. Alonso just missing out on the top 10 shootout in P11. Aston Martin actually don't look that bad so far this season. So, you know, I got hope that they'll again get some points potentially. Maybe not in the sprint race, but in the Grand Prix race on Sunday, they've got an opportunity for sure. But speaking of opportunities, Ferrari absolutely took theirs, in particular Sir Lewis Hamilton. Now, of course, Hamilton has come in for a lot of criticism recently. The videos that I've been making, you know, I've been getting a lot of comments on them saying that Hamilton's washed, he's too old, he should retire, he's done, he's a has-been. People love to hate on Lewis Hamilton, but in the words of the great Delia Smith, where are you? Where are the critics now? Because he ended up getting his first pole position for Ferrari. Yes, it is a sprint pole, but he was still fastest overall in qualifying. What a session it was for Ferrari, with Hamilton on the front row in P1, and also Charles Leclerc a respectable P4 as well. A great day for the Scuderia. Now, can he convert it to his first sprint win for Ferrari, his first win of any kind for Ferrari? It's going to be a big ask, but he's absolutely got an opportunity. However, alongside him on the front row, none other than his old rival Max Verstappen. What a performance by him in the Red Bull. We've got a Red Bull on the front row and also the back row. The grid is almost completely a Red Bull sandwich, just that one place stopping that at the front. But yeah, really good from Ferrari. Very much a massive improvement. They seem to have found whatever the problem was in Australia and remedied it. So, you know, they've absolutely fixed whatever the issue is there. But yeah, the new rules hurting McLaren. Of course, the FIA is clamping down on the flexi wings for Formula 1 right now at the Chinese Grand Prix. McLaren said it didn't affect them. They'll still be as fast. But going off the evidence of this qualifying session, I would say it has affected them more than the other teams, especially along a track where there are some really big long straights. So you'd think it'd have more effect here than what it would surround somewhere that's a bit slower, like Australia, for example. These days, is it? They've opened up that circuit up. But yeah, incredible performance. Surprising performance, really, from Oscar Piastri and also Lando Norris. Piastri in P3, just off the front row. Not a bad performance by him by any stretch of the imagination. Not far away from sprint pole. But yeah, Lando Norris struggling for pace. He up down in P6. He had a lock up into the final hairpin, and he bailed out of his final lap. So yeah, McLaren with work to do. You know, people saying that they are pretty much champions left. Well, they have work to do in the sprint. By all means, their race pace could be better than their qualifying pace. We don't know, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. It's sure to be a fascinating race. Actually, it wasn't at 3 a.m. here in the UK. I'd probably get up for it if it wasn't. But yeah, those are the main things from qualifying, sprint qualifying that we learned today for the Chinese Grand Prix. What were your main highlights? Who was your qualifier of the day? Has got to go to Hamilton for me, you know, getting 3 places ahead of his teammate, and it was only his second race for Ferrari and getting his first pole position as well. Absolutely superb. But who was your top performer? Let us know in the comments below. And who's winning the sprint tomorrow? Hamilton, Verstappen, Piastri, someone else? Your thoughts as always. Like, share, comment, subscribe as always, guys, and yeah, see you soon for another video on the world of Formula 1, guys. See you very soon. Have a great weekend ahead, and hope we have a fantastic sprint race tomorrow morning in Shanghai.